Once upon a time, in a bustling village, there were two men whose lives were worlds apart. The first man, named Darius, was incredibly wealthy. He lived in a grand estate with tall gates and vast gardens, where everything sparkled with luxury. He wore clothes made from the finest fabrics and dined on meals fit for royalty every day. His house was always filled with laughter, feasts, and friends who shared in his good fortune. Darius spent his days enjoying the pleasures of life, never worrying about tomorrow. At the entrance to Darius's estate, by the cold stone gate, there lived another man named Samuel. Samuel had nothing but the worn clothes on his back and a frail body marked by hunger and sickness. His bed was the hard ground, and his meals were the scraps thrown away by others. Samuel's only companions were the stray dogs that roamed the streets, who would come and lick his wounds, offering him a small sense of comfort. Despite passing by Samuel every day, Darius never paused to help him. He was too busy with his lavish life to notice the suffering man just outside his door. Day after day, Samuel waited, hoping for kindness, but it never came. He longed for even the crumbs from Darius's table, but those too were out of reach. Then, one quiet evening, both men's lives took a dramatic turn. Samuel, weak and weary, passed away in his sleep. But as his soul left his body, angels came and carried him to a beautiful place of peace and rest. In this place, Samuel was no longer hungry or sick. He was surrounded by love and comfort, and all his pain melted away. Not long after, Darius also passed away. But Darius found himself in a dark and terrible place, full of suffering and flames. He was in deep agony and unbearably thirsty. Looking up from his place of torment, Darius saw Samuel far away, resting in peace and happiness. Desperate, Darius cried out, "God, please have mercy on me. Send Samuel to dip just the tip of his finger in water to cool my tongue. I am in such agony in this fire." But God replied, "Darius, remember how you lived in luxury during your life, while Samuel suffered in poverty and sickness? Now he is comforted, and you are in torment. Besides, there is a great divide between us, and no one can cross from here to you, nor from there to us." Hearing this, Darius was filled with sorrow. He then begged, "Please God, I have brothers still living. Please send Samuel to warn them, so they don't end up in this place of suffering." God gently answered, "Your brothers have the teachings of the prophets. If they listen to them, they will know how to live well." Darius protested, "But if someone from the dead goes to them, surely they will believe and change their ways." God replied, "If they do not listen to the prophets, they will not be convinced, even if someone rises from the dead." This story reminds us that how we treat others, especially those in need, is more important than the wealth or pleasures we accumulate. It teaches that true happiness comes not from riches, but from compassion, kindness, and love. Our actions today shape not only our lives, but also our eternity. Just like Darius and Samuel, we are called to care for one another. For in doing so, we find the true meaning of life and the path to lasting peace.